disability does not mean inability. Today we are gathered here at the practice ground of the National Paralympic Committee in Liberia, NPC, a non-profit institution that serves as a support system for para-athletes here in Liberia. This organization was founded in 2003 and has participated in 2 international Paralympic Games, the London Paralympics 2012 and the just ended Tokyo 2020 Paralympics Games. Good morning, everyone. Can you please tell me your name and how was it like being the only 2 para-athletes to represent Mama Liberia in the Olympic game in Tokyo?
My name is Thomas Mamba.
My name is Patience Johnson.
Well, I was very much happy, and I feel free seeing my friends disabled out there. People that I never see before. And see them, we make friends, and
I feel more fun by representing my country. I was so proud that I go see my friends disabled playing, because sometimes I need to say, oh, I only my one. This time I'm so happy, so I was so proud to see my friends disabled are playing among me.
So what sport did you compete in?
I play javelin. I do the javelin.
You sit down on a chair, sit in the chair, do something, true.
I'm Raphael from Hong Kong.
Okay, Raphael. Have you ever been discriminated by a disability?
Yes.
And how do you feel about it?
Sometimes I feel bad. Don't go among. Mostly the physical people say, "You, this is what we're not talking about you." So now I'm feeling proud. I remember my friends playing game, whatever. I'm so glad.
My name is K. Capon.
Okay, Reginald, how many years have you been practicing with the NPC?
I started January this year.
Okay.
I'm Jeremiah D. Cooper.
So, Jeremiah, how is it like training in an environment where you can be yourself?
Well, it's okay. Wheresoever you can train to make the impact is okay. So training in an environment like this, to me, is okay. Yeah.
And how long have you been training with the NPC?
Yeah, NPC, I would say we founded NPC because we started way by up Benson Street with Coach Toe, the late, may his soul rest in peace, with our senior SG and our senior President Jefferson, and now we got our new coach, Coach Eric. So it's like I'm one of the founding members of NPC, but there came a time, based on my school, I was not training. So this come around and when I saw my guy and my mother came from the trade, so it motivated me. I said, well, in Liberia, people with disability has been discriminated one way or the other because we don't have really funding. So same people bringing spoke to us. I felt that through the spoke, we will be, known, nationally and internationally. Because sometimes people office, when you are entering there, whether you go in there for different things, the stigmatization, being a disabled, they will neglect you not to even see the minister or the director you're going to see. So through spoke, we'll be able to see those people. Yeah.
Welcome back, viewer. Good morning. Can you please introduce yourself?
I'm Mr. Festus Stu Robinson, and I'm the Secretary General of the Liberia National Paralympic Committee.
Alright, so what is the purpose of the National Paralympic Committee in Liberia?
Para is about disability. So the purpose of the Liberia National Paralympic Committee is bringing people with disability to sports. And we are sanctioned under the IPC, which is the International Paralympic Committee, to be the only person in Liberia to represent them. So all of the IPC sports is under us, that those sports can be played.
So who is the founder and what gives him the idea or her the idea to form this whole thing?
Okay, so it came far as 2006 in Liberia. You know, Liberia went through a civil crisis. And that time I was doing athletics. And so a colleague of ours got shot. So the vision came to me that what would have happened to him. So since 2006, we began to do the research whether people with disability could do similar sport that we were doing. So we realized that people with disability could do sports. So I, Festus, and Jeff, the president, are the funders of NPC Liberia.
Right, that's good. So, how many athletes are part of the NPC?
So currently, since we came from Tokyo, the number of athletes have grown over time. Because YeahNah, caring for the athletes is one thing. So the more athletes you will have, the larger your budget might be. So currently we try to minimize the number of athletes we have. I mean, on the overall, we approximate about 25 athletes. We have 3 training stations here, Jacobtown, and the Miami Beach. So here in Jacobtown we do para sports. So that is those sports sanctioned by the International Paralympic Committee. So like they told you, they are doing javelin. So javelin is under athletics. So at Miami Beach we are doing para tech ball. So tech ball is more like a new sport in Paralympic sports, but that sport has not been recognized by the International Paralympic Committee, but it is a growing sport. So tech ball is more like play like table tennis, the same table tennis ball but differently made. So you have the athletes on coaches playing tech ball. So he heads the ball, he checks the ball, and he kicks the ball across the net, but he doesn't play it with his hands. So that's para tech ball. So basically, we have 35 athletes and 3 training sites.
So apart from you and the other founder, which is Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Are you always on practice ground? What else do you do?
So professionally, I'm an engineer and I run a local NGO. So sports having been my everyday life. So I feel pleased coming to training, seeing the athletes training, like you were saying, I try to massage the athlete's arm. So when I used to do athletics, we were taught to do all these things. So massaging the athlete's arm when there's injury, these are things that we were taught to do when we were doing track and field. So coming to do para sports is like being a technical person and having knowledge of what I'm doing.
So how do you manage your time being an engineer and going to all the practice sessions for the athletes?
So basically, I work for myself. So I schedule my time. So like in the morning, I know I should be at training. So from 8 to 10, I purpose myself to be at training. So Tuesday and Thursday, I know I'm supposed to be at the other training venue, but it is from 4 to 6. So like something is your habit, and you need to do it. Once you don't do it, you don't feel pleased. So that is my schedule. And like I normally say to the athletes, every day of my life I must do 2 or 3 hours work for the Paralympic Committee. Because currently, since we came from Tokyo, funding in sports is key. Now you have the athletes training, and government is not giving out training funding or funds for training, right? So under our auspices now, we have 25 acres of land that we are growing cocoa. Now the purpose of that cocoa project is to move the athletes to another direction. The cocoa will grow in 3 years, we will harvest the cocoa, the proceeds from that cocoa will be used to build the athlete capacity. How do we want to do it? We got 10 acres of land in Carisburg, so we'll be constructing in 5 years, so that's our long-term plan. So in 5 years, we'll be constructing a modern Paralympic village. So the athletes that you find on the street or wherever they are, they will be removed from there and taken to the Paralympic village. So once you're in the Paralympic village, you will be made to do Paralympic sports. So that's our vision for the next 5 years.
All right. Thank you, viewers. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
eba. Zona, zona, eba. Zona, zona. Les pas mon si un player, oh. 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 Eh, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Zona, zona, eba. Zona, zona. Zona, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again. Eggy, I'm on bounce on you again.
Welcome back once again. I'm Bernice Martu. First up, when choosing athletes to join the NPC, what are some of the attributes you look for in a player?
So actually, the Paralympic sports is about person with disability. So in Paralympic sports, we got something called classification. It's when athletes are grouped into categories, and those categories call for their medical condition, the level of amputation, or the level of disability, right? So to select or in selecting our athletes, those athletes must be disabled. So once you are disabled, you fit in that range. So having been recruited, then we identify the suitable sports for you. So the category is the person must have a level of disability. That's our range.
First up, was the trip to Tokyo sponsored by the government or the NPC of Liberia?
So the Liberia National Paralympic Committee is nationally recognized by government. So it means that's the property of the government. So athletes from the National Paralympic Committee are national athletes, and they go out to represent the country. So the Tokyo Games were fully sponsored by the government of Liberia. So all incentive, including per diem, travel, costume, uniform, they were all paid for by the government of Liberia. So this is one thing that this government have done, and we want to applaud them, but we ask them to go beyond just supporting trade. Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, and the artists actually did their best by,
Yeah, exactly.
All right, thank you so much, Festus.